welcome back to LTWS Backstage Chronicles. I'm your host, Jessica Perry, and today we're diving into the thrilling world of Sherlock Holmes with our season opener, Moriarty by Ken Ludwig. In this episode, we'll explore the play's themes of love, loyalty, and intellect, and how they bring a fresh twist to the legendary detective story. Joining me today are cast members Daniel Becker, who is playing Sherlock Holmes.
Hello.
Chad Edwards, who is playing Dr. Watson.
Hello.
And we have Emily Emerson, who is playing Irene Adler, and lots of other characters.
Hi.
They're here to talk about what makes this production a brilliant mix of mystery, comedy, and heart. And if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to LTWS Backstage Chronicles, leave us a review, and share it with your fellow theater lover. Now, let's dive in, shall we? Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here today and sharing your time with us. How's everyone feeling? I always love asking that question.
Oh, yeah.
I love asking that question to people in Tech Week or Load-In Week. And they're like,
I feel like a deer in the
What
headlights.
year
You
is
just
it?
asked me how I'm doing. I'm not sure I'm supposed to respond to that. Nah, I feel good. Tired, but good. Ready for tech.
yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
This is Load-In Week. The set's rolling in. The costumes are starting to reach their final stages. All the pieces of the puzzle will start to come together. And then you guys will be thrown into it. Bam. Tech Week.
For
We're
sure.
going straight to the finish line.
Hitting the ground running.
Yeah. Well, I'm really, really excited. I know that this show has a lot of technical elements, a lot of quick changes. Now, I know that the other actors play multiple roles, so they're going to be having a lot of quick changes. Do you guys have any quick changes, or are you just wearing one outfit throughout the entire time?
Chad, you want to answer that?
I'm the lucky one. I change very quickly at the beginning of the show during an opening monologue, and that's it. And then I don't change at all.
I get to slip on a different coat and jacket and maybe switch out the vest and stuff like that. But yeah, Emily, Joe, and Anne have the heavy lifting there when it comes to quick changes and stuff like that.
I have to say, I only play 3 characters.
And 2 of them really well.
Okay. Anne and Joe, they play. I think Joe plays 10 and Anne plays 8 or something like that. So they are cycling through their characters. I have the easier lift in that I only have 3, but there are a lot of quick changes. I think my fastest one is 16 seconds, which might be the fastest quick change I have had in my career so far. That's not a lot of time, but we were able to get it down to 13 seconds, so
Wow.
it's going to happen.
Is that the one dependent on my dialogue?
Yes, it is.
If I'm really mad at you, I'll
slowly.
speed that
Chad
up.
has a lot of control over all of us, and I'm only just starting to realize that. Especially with some of the music cues and everything like that. Emily and I have to do a dance at one point, and we start our entrance on a particular word that Chad says. I'm not going to tell him which one, because if he knows now, he's going to start messing with us.
I don't even see what's going on behind me.
Yeah, but you know everything, so
I kind of do,
Yeah.
but
So be nice to Chad.
I brought brownies the other day, so as bribery.
That's
brownies.
why I will not mess with her during this. That's why I will take that 13 seconds and make it 14. Thank you. You're welcome.
So, Chad, you directed Little Shop of Horrors.
I did.
I know you've done multiple directing and acting for the Little Theater. Is it difficult to switch hats? Is it challenging to be the actor and be I should be quiet. I shouldn't say that. I'm not the director.
Not actually when Phil is involved. It's very easy to shift back, and because I trust him implicitly and what he will do, and I never question Phil. Maybe a couple times. But I always feel safe and that I can create. And he's an excellent technician because this show is a technical beast. It's been easy for me to shift back, and I don't get on stage as much as I used to. But anyway, but it's with this show, it's not. I feel very comfortable and safe, and the incredible cast that we have around me is and the technical crew that we have. It's very easy.
That helps when you have like a team that you trust. Mm-hmm. It's camaraderie, and there's a lot of working parts, especially to this production. All of you are pretty seasoned actors at this point, gotten a lot of experience working with multiple theater companies. Where would you say like this show ranks on like level of technical difficulty, like the challenges, or?
Ooh, that's a great question.
I know that like both of you were in One Man, Two Governors, which was a technical heavy show as well. And I'm imagining from what I've heard that this is even more.
Oh,
I would say
greater.
Also.
Wow.
And it's a different type. Like both One Man and Moriarty require like this precision, like just hitting that timing to get the beat just right. With One Man, it was a lot more, I would say, in terms of like getting the slapstick, the farcical door opening, chaos running around, hitting a fire extinguisher at the right time, smoke erupting on stage and everything like that. But this has a lot more in terms of lighting, crossfade. Phil's been saying from day one that like sound is almost like, your sixth actor in here. So like pretty much from we were blocked in 3 rehearsals, which is insane. And then from there, we've pretty much just been running, and with, I would say, 70 to 80% of like sound cues like locked in from that 4th rehearsal. And there's obviously been refinements and additions and tweaking along the way, but just really getting used to working with like Elizabeth Reef, our stage manager, who's running sound cues through our rehearsal process, is like almost an actor in and of herself, like just like hitting it, getting our timing, and if you fudge a line slightly or the cue line is slightly paraphrased or slightly off, that it starts like a chain effect, and it's really hard to sort of recover. I mean, everybody's like, as you said, like a seasoned actor and everything there, so we are able to pull it back, and we're working for those sort of situations, but we're trying to mitigate and minimize how many of those errors could potentially spring out, because there are a lot of pitfalls potentially there.
Well, that's the one thing that I've noticed about Phil that he's really good at, is he will run it and run it and run it and run it and run it until you're almost sick of it, honestly. But it can feel tedious, and you can kind of worry, like, are we going to over rehearse this? But I think like it's just when you get in there and you throw the audience in there, then it becomes like muscle memory, and then which I think allows more room to play, because you're like, you already got the muscle memory for where you need to be, where you need to stand, when you need to stand. I
think in general, I would rather be over-prepared than under-prepared, and especially for this sort of show. So yes, to what you were saying earlier, there's definitely some moments where I'm like, all right, we're running again tonight, just top to bottom, get notes at the end, tweak a couple of things, see you tomorrow, let's rinse and repeat sort of thing. But this show definitely requires it. To what Chad was saying earlier, that's the sort of trust that you put in Phil and the technical team. And you know what it's like going into attack as well. Like, we've done all this prep, but then, you have that plan, then the plan doesn't always go according to plan.
Well, is every single moment completely like planned out, or is there room to play around in certain scenes?
There's some wiggle room, and that's what keeps it fresh. Like, I'm still finding things between, especially Holmes and I, with our relationship, and different kind of looks we'll give each other at times, and it's just fun to play with a little bit. You know what you have to do, and you know not to really overstep your bounds too much. Yeah. in that, but there's a little wiggle room to explore. And if you go off too much, then Phil's going to catch you.
Yeah.
And he's going to say no.
I agree with you. I think, and in particular, I've worked with you before, Chad, and Emily recently. Emily and I were in a 2-person show where we're both on stage the entire time playing a variety of characters. So there's lots of parallels to Moriarty here, but just part of that rehearsal process was just being able to explore and play and throw curveballs, but still within the strike zone. I don't play baseball. I don't know if that analogy holds up, but that's what I'm trying to go.
You're saying it with confidence, so it's
It was,
okay.
yeah. And that's the important thing, right? It's not confidence, it's just an accent.
To that, I was actually going to ask that I know that you all have worked with each other in various ways, and I just wanted to talk about what kind of things have y'all done with each other before in theater?
I've never worked with Emily
Yeah,
before.
this is our first time working together. Yeah.
So, did you know each other before this?
Oh yeah.
And how long
for a
have you known each other?
Oh gosh.
How old are you?
Years and years and years.
Just
You never asked a lady
quite
her
a
age.
while.
Yeah.
I was asking Chad.
Hush.
Again, you never ask a lady their age.
I don't even know how
Yeah.
long it's. I mean,
It's
many
been a
years.
while.
Yeah.
That we've known each other.
And it's just never
yeah.
come
I've,
together in that way. But
I've always been a
Yeah.
fan.
Oh,
and,
fun.
And it's great working with she's both of these people to my left and my right. I'm in the middle, by the way. They are masters at their craft. I respect what they do 100%. And it's a joy to create. Sometimes I feel like, I'm not rising up to that level. And so I got to kick my butt in
But that's
gear
always
because
wonderful
that's
feeling,
the wonderful
too.
thing about working with people like that.
Thank you, Chad.
It's rewarding.
It's very kind of you to say.
I really do mean that, and not just because we're on a podcast.
Why are you winking?
I wish you and I had more. We don't have very many interactions in this show.
I don't know.
I mean, once or twice, but we're on stage at the same time, but we don't interact with each other as much as I would like.
Yeah.
We should also give a big shout out to Joe and Anne who round out that cast there. Have you worked with either of them before?
No.
I've seen them in a couple of shows over the past couple of years there. But they've been great to work with as well. They match that energy. And just to Chad's point there, it's, it's good to be in that situation when someone's giving something and you can play off. And if you have that feeling of oh man, I'm dropping the ball a little bit sort of thing, it forces you to rise. You don't want to get complacent. Well, I don't know about you, Emily. Do you want to get complacent or not?
I would rather not. No.
There you go. That's good.
Well, it sounds like this group has really good chemistry and work. I mean, Phil's really good at directing. I mean, casting a show, and everyone just kind of fitting together. And he was really. I mean, it was really great with Unnecessary Farce. I thought that every person there was perfect in what they were doing, and you could tell that the whole cast had really good energy with one another. And it helps to have a good because people don't really understand that. You think a director's job is just to go in there and pick the best person for each role. But it's more than that. You're also who you cast is going to make up the energy of every single rehearsal, all throughout Tech Week, to the end of shows, and you want your cast to have a really strong bond because you guys are working on this for weeks and weeks, and then when Tech Week hits, oh my goodness, you guys don't get sleep.
Yeah.
And two of you guys are teachers.
Yeah, but only one of
Yes.
us is good.
That's
Chad.
It's me.
It's Chad.
He's just riding my coattails.
I take attendance. That's about it.
Yeah.
Are you both theater
Whatever.
teachers?
Again,
Yes.
teacher is a strong word, but yeah, on the paper.
In high school as well. So
Oh my goodness.
yeah. I teach in the far county over in Davie County, and
I'm here in Winston-Salem.
Do you have any of your students coming to see the show?
I have several of my students working the show,
That's awesome.
which is fantastic. I am super proud of them, and a big shout out to the Little Theatre of Winston-Salem for providing them like that sort of opportunity. So many of them are just like, found themselves in a new level of confidence and everything like that. And
Oh, that's great.
yeah, I don't do sappy, mushy stuff well, but any sap and mush that I have, I give to you now and them.
Aw,
That's the extent
Gross,
of your
it's horrible.
sap.
I'm terrible
I
at
felt that a little
receiving
bit
the
over
sap
here.
emotion.
Yeah, you got a little mush on your shoulder there, Chad. Watch out.
Damn it.
Well, I mean, we love it. Like anytime we hear someone is like wanting to learn more, you're like, oh, you want to learn? Well, come on,
Yeah.
come on, we'll show you. Let's go. I mean, we love theater so much. It's easy to want to share that enthusiasm, especially with the young ones and the up and coming. And even if like they don't like grow up to like be a lighting designer or a actor or costume or whatever.
Sure.
Like we know that what they learn with us is going to teach them skills that's going to carry into their life, whether it's like
100%.
people skills, socializing, confidence, public speaking, or just
dealing with a crisis and
Right,
stuff like that.
exactly,
How many,
because
Tech Week, how many things
there
go
will
wrong?
always
as part of a team?
be a crisis.
Yes.
I mean, there will always be something that happens. There will always be something that goes wrong. There will always be some costume that rips or some prop that goes missing or some light cue that doesn't go off the way it's supposed to. But that's the beauty of theater.
For sure.
Maybe.
It's the
I love it when things go wrong.
Yes.
No, I mean, it's stressful,
I
but
know
like
what you
it's
mean.
it's beautiful because it's not perfect, and but people still like come together to tell this story. They're all there for the same purpose of having this, telling a story, sharing emotions, having the shared experience, building community. Now I'm getting sappy.
That is
Somebody
the
stop
beauty
me.
of theater right there. And I expect with every production that comes up, I'm like, oh, this is going to go smooth. It's supposed to go like this. And then when stuff happens, I'm like, you've done this so many times. It's like, how do you expect this to go well?
But the thing is,
And then it winds up.
people step up.
fine. Yeah.
They get it done. And you learn
then it
to,
gets done.
you know what? You don't have a choice. You got to figure out how to get it done. You could sit here and you could cry about it, or you could do something about it. And that's what theater teaches you. Like, well, you don't got a choice. Do something about it. Adapt, right?
For sure.
The show must go on.
Yep.
And that's an invaluable skill to have, I think. Stress, like they're going in there like, oh, this is not stressful.
No,
I done
pretty
theater.
stressful,
You think this is stressful?
Yeah.
I've worked run crew. Like, you just don't know. So I've asked you this question before, Emily, and I'm going to ask you again. Sherlock or Mycroft? Who does Irene Adler favor?
That's an excellent question. So I will say in the book, in the short story, it's not a romance. It's not a love story. The playwright Ken Ludwig, he sort of gave this play that angle just to add something more to it. But originally, it was never a love story. It was more a battle of wits.
I can
And
see that.
the attraction came from finding someone who was at your level intellectually, rather than any sort of romance. There's definitely a lot of that in this play. It just is really sexy when it happens.
Wait, what?
I mean, like finding someone who is matching your intellectual capabilities
Oh, yeah.
and possibly going past it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get it.
And-
You and I get it.
yeah, we.
I've never experienced that before.
Aw.
And
what
so,
that is.
like with both Sherlock and Mycroft, because they are such brilliant thinkers. I'm going to get in trouble either way I answer this question.
Here's what you say. You say Watson.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was going to say curveball.
No, I am curious, though.
That's good.
Watson, I mean, if you look at the play, Watson has the best track record, like literally from the text, and like just he is
Yes.
man of the world, suave. Yeah.
I am curious because there are a lot of really intelligent characters in this show. And I'm wondering if you would ask each of these characters who they thought was the smartest, what they would say. I'm sure who would Irene Adler? Would she say herself? Would
Absolutely.
she say, would everybody say themselves? Who would Watson say is the smartest?
Sherlock.
And
For
Sherlock
sure.
would say Sherlock?
Sherlock would say Sherlock. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just
Mycroft does say that he's smarter than anybody else
literally
in
says
the
that.
room. Like he actually.
And
states
Mrs.
that as
Barabbas outsmarts us all, so she's
So would Watson say that Sherlock is the smartest because he believes Sherlock is, because it's the truth, or because he idolizes him so much?
I think he believes that. I think that
Or does he idolize?
I don't think idolizes is the right word. He is a friend and confidant. In the play, he says he's his best friend, and I mean they go on all these mysteries together, and they've shared a lot. And it's just there's a connection there.
He's just like, I've seen what he can do.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's why I know he's the smartest. I've seen him in action.
and there is a respect because he's always learning from Sherlock. There's opportunities like to see him in action, and Sherlock says, he's doing his thing, and I'm watching, and it's just like watching and learning.
I think actually I'm going to retract my answer. I think Sherlock would probably say that Moriarty is the most intelligent if we're thinking. I mean, I suppose it depends on how you define intelligence.
Is it because Moriarty's always kind of eluded him, always escaped him?
Yep, pretty much. Moriarty has this power over Holmes that catches him off guard a couple of times. Like Holmes really has to rise to the top and pull out every stop he can. One-on-one, he could not beat Moriarty. It's with Watson and Miss Adler and Toby and stuff like that they're able to come together.
Do you think it's more of a frustration thing that he can't beat him, or is it a challenge? Does he like a challenge?
The challenge, I think.
Tough question.
It's a tough question. I also don't want to spoil too much as well. So Sherlock and Moriarty have a history. And it's kind of established and explored relatively briefly because this play is so quick moving and twists and turns, new characters and stuff like that. But it does slow down on a couple of moments, and Holmes gets to do his big exposition sort of thing about who Moriarty is to him and everything. And the first time Holmes sees Moriarty, it catches him off guard, and he freezes and locks up and everything like that. Moriarty was the first person who really betrayed Holmes. Holmes says he loved Moriarty, and what he's frightened of him basically. I don't know. I think Holmes would still say Moriarty, in his heart of hearts, he thinks Moriarty is more intelligent. But again, I think that depends on how you define intelligence. And Holmes utilizes his resources in a more effective way. Moriarty isolates himself, whereas I think once Holmes learns to trust in, Irene in particular, and Watson, even though they have that long, extensive friendship there, Holmes hasn't told Watson about Moriarty until he resurfaces at the moment. So Holmes has sort of been keeping this wall up the entire time. It's only when letting that wall down and Watson in to assist and Irene Adler in to assist, I would argue that's an intelligent move, but that's utilizing their intelligence collectively. That's a weird answer, but
No.
I see it.
I am curious, though, because I know that there's been a lot of variations of Sherlock Holmes out there, a lot of different movies and TV shows. Did any of you draw any inspirations from characters from film or TV, or have you kind of just been developing your own thing, or have you just been going with the script and seeing what comes?
I haven't watched anything since at least picking this up. I mean, I've watched it in the past, but I try to focus on what I can bring to the character and what I feel the character is going to be. And I think I've tried to do a little different angle on Watson and make him a little more lovable. and genuine. You really want to root for him, and given him just very human quality that people can identify with, because in the play he talks about all of the action and he moves the action forward. So it's someone that people want to follow. But I've tried to put a little different spin on him and what I see in him and what the text brings. So I don't know whether that's gonna play with people who are like, fanatics about it and say he should be played this way. I don't know. I try to just make it my own.
No, I like that. No, I'm sure you do a wonderful job. I mean, to me, you are Watson.
You're pretty lovable.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Emily, I know that you've read the script. The script, obviously, at this point. I meant the short story. Mm-hmm. And I know that there aren't as many references for Irene Adler in movie and film. Maybe there's a lot more than I've looked up. Have you found any inspiration from anything, any other sources?
I haven't watched anything. I've read all of the books and the stories, and she's only in one of them. So there's not a whole lot to go on, which I really enjoy, because I try not to influence myself too much off of other performances. So it's enjoyable to, like Chad was saying, to kind of take it and make it my own, and create more of who I think she is, as opposed to trying to do an imitation of something else.
Yeah.
I know I definitely started off, like, again, just trying to find the overall tone and sense of direction and interaction with your fellow cast. Like, because all that comes into play within developing, like, your character for any role. But for, like, Sherlock Holmes in particular, who is this, like, everybody knows just through osmosis, or they are diehard fans, or everybody knows their version of Sherlock. Is it Benedict Cumberbatch or whatever, or is it, Robert Downey Jr.? Is it from way back or something like that? Like, I remember, like, I know very many memories of, like, my sort of, like, 5-6-year-old self, but there was this, like, cartoon, and Sherlock Holmes was a character on that, and to this day I still have this image of him sitting in a boat going down the Thames, like, in a cartoon form, and, like, that's just imprinted up there. So when I started doing this, I definitely was just kind of in this neutral holding pattern, like, let's play very factual and just blah, 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 that sort of thing. And I was like, I'm just doing an impression of, like, Robert Downey Jr. at this point. And I was kind of like, this is fine for a jumping off sort of thing. But I think with Phil's direction and then bouncing off, like, all these actors and, like, the somewhat wacky, I don't know if that's the right term, wacky, like, tone, the quick madcap pace of the play, I don't think Sherlock gets left behind if you just sort of leave him as this, like, straight man character there. So it's actually been fun getting to push him to, like butthole levels at times. Like, he's super arrogant at moments, and he enjoys, like, messing with people. Almost bullying's probably too strong a word, but, like, flaunting his intelligence. But that also just creates levels for him as a character, because when he meets Irene, who has such power over him, and Watson, who is able to temper him, and Moriarty, who's able to flummox him and just humble him, when he has these moments of, like, this is a great show in the sense that you get to see, from Holmes' perspective, I'm just talking here, but you get to see him experience these, like, human emotions, and so easily in pop culture, or it's so easy in pop culture just to look at Holmes as, like, I'm Mr. Robot Man who knows all the answers just by looking at you with this sort of thing. And it's like, yeah, but do you? What if Sherlock Holmes had, like, a crush on somebody? All right, now what if, like, he actually, like, was deeply in love with somebody? What if he was willing to, like, sacrifice himself? What if he was, afraid of somebody or something like that? He didn't have all the answers. How does... So, I don't know.
Well, I think that, like, this script and Ken Ludwig's version of the story allows for Sherlock to have, like, it's creating an environment in which Sherlock might feel something.
For sure.
And so now, so this is kind of like, it seems to me that this is kind of like Sherlock's learning that he has emotions and how to handle that. It's like he's going through puberty for the first time.
I mean, you're not. I would sign off on that. I like that. It's going through puberty. And that's great when my voice cracks on stage. I can just say it's fine. It's going through puberty, guys. No problem.
Well, so if you're looking to find a specific version of Sherlock Holmes or Watson, if you have a show or a movie that you've just been in love with, and that's what you're looking to find, I say just come to this with an open mind. You know, it seems like everybody is creating just unique and honest like versions of their characters, and I don't think you can really go wrong with that when you're bringing honesty to every role, whether it's comedy or drama or anything. Honesty is the best place to start. And so I say come and see them. Come and see this unique versions of these characters that will still carry the essence of the characters that you know and love, and a story that gives you a different side to Sherlock Holmes and lets you see the kind of relationships that he has with these very dynamic characters as well. Any last words? Anything that you would like to say? Anything that you want people to know or should expect before coming to see the show?
I really just want to harken back to that technical sort of incorporation here. Like this is an adventure, like an action adventure, like story told with 5 people. The set, the lights, the special effects, sound, how all that comes together, is going to be really, really impressive. If for nothing else, I think you'll get like a nice visual feast. There's that sense of like sort of, oh wow, how'd they do that? What? That was so quick. That person was just over there, and hang on, what? Which I'm a huge fan of just in theater in general. So that's part of why I really like this show. Characters fine, whatever, but actors, whatever.
So you
They're
heard it.
just
Even if the
puppets.
acting sucks, it's going to look great.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. That's essentially what I'm saying, I guess. Jeez.
no,
That's fine. Take me down a peg.
There's no way with this cast of people that the acting is going to suck. I've seen them all in multiple different roles, and every single one is all unique and dynamic and fun. And like I find that anytime I see a show with like every single one in this cast, I'm staring at them. I'm like following them. I want to know. You could just see you all are just like so in it. You're so embodying these characters, and it makes it where, I mean, it's difficult for me being like on the admin side of theater, because it's hard for me to watch shows now. Like I watch them with a different eye, and I'm like, oh, this happened. Oh, I noticed that. Whenever I watch a show with you all in it, like I'm able to turn that off, and now I'm just in the show. I'm in the story, and I really appreciate that. So I want to say thank you.
That's very kind of you to say
That's
so.
incredibly
Thank you.
Totally.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I will say one other thing, and this is very cheeky because I'm in Danny's presence, so he's cheekiness personified. But and he's like
cheeky in my life.
Anyway, I don't know. But if you come to this show and you've seen Danny's performances before, he does not take his shirt off in this show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Every show I've seen Danny in, he is in some state of undress. So if you're
Not even
looking
supposed
to
to be.
see that, you will be a little disappointed. However, I'm going to run on to that
Chad
and
is
say
gonna get offended.
that his performance, his fully clothed performance, is probably one of the greatest things that I've seen him do, and sharing the stage with him.
Thank you, Chad.
So see how I turned that around.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Thank you,
And
mate.
all of these actors, like I am just, as I said before, I am delighted. This is fun for me.
Aw.
And sometimes it isn't that, and it's a lot of work. But when I come to rehearsal, it's playtime.
Yeah.
It's good. And it is an adventure. It is a thrill ride. It is fast paced. It will keep your attention the entire time.
Yeah.
And that's why we do theater. It's healing to have this space to come and just play. It's therapy, in my opinion. And it helps when you have people that you trust. You know they're going to have their lines. You know they're going to be on top of their parts. So you can just play. And you trust that, like, if you throw in something new, like, your partner's going to catch it. Because you've been working with each other for so long.
Sure.
And one thing I do notice is, you know, you're always learning and developing things about your character and about the story, even to the very last performance.
For sure.
And also, every audience is different. And it creates a unique experience every single performance. And one thing that not everybody knows is we love when the audience reacts. When they gasp, when they laugh, when they go, "Oh, I know he didn't," like just like throwing stuff out because they can't help it. They're just reacting, and it's wonderful. And like from the actor's perspective, the more the audience gives, the more the actors want to give.
Sure.
So when you come and you see this show, for one thing, you get to unplug and you get to just like live in the moment for a few moments. But the more you give, the more that you get back in return. And I think that's beautiful as well. And the beautiful thing about theater, the more you give, the more you get back. Ooh.
100%.
That was deep.
Good.
I just came off that with the top of my head.
Oh, yeah. Well done.
So any last words?
We said ours, Emily. You got to say something now.
Yeah. Yep. You got to have the final word in.
Yeah, it's a great time. It's a very frenetic, physical show. There's a lot of fighting. There's a lot of stage combat.
I love it.
I forgot all about that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Let's talk a little bit about the stage combat for a minute before we sign off. Like,
I've waited my whole career to have a sword fight. Finally get a sword fight.
oh my God, I love sword fights.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of fighting. There's a lot of, there's a sequence where, there's a fight on a train with an open door, and there's a sword fight, and there's...
Who was your
People
fight
getting
choreographer?
That would be Mr. Danny Becker.
Oh,
Who
who
did an
is this guy?
amazing job.
Danny Becker. Interesting. I've never heard of him.
Yeah.
And truly, like with everything else that he's taking on with playing this role, taking on the fight choreography as well, and being able to do that well and competently, and making sure that everyone feels safe is such a big thing, because with combat it can go very wrong very quickly, and so he's done a marvelous job of making sure that everyone is within their capabilities and being safe, and running things over and over again so that we all feel comfortable. So that's been a real pleasure to be able to.
Well, it's been a pleasure
learn.
working with people who are able to just like get it. Like, there's no one in this show who is not pulling their weight or like giving their all or doing what they need to do. There are times when we've all been in productions, I think, where you can feel where there's that, maybe a little dip or something like that. But just everybody's in here, they're putting the work in, and that's so valuable just to work with. I got no words anymore. It's good.
I will say that I'm bummed because I don't do any of the fight choreography.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We'll have to have a show that's just all about fighting.
I'll punch you, Chad. Don't worry.
Well, that happens
Play
behind
your
the
cards,
scenes.
all right? Yeah.
Well, I just want to say thank you all so much for coming out today and sharing your time. That is a wrap for today's episode of LTWS Backstage Chronicles. Thank you again to Danny, Chad, and Emily for being here and sharing a little bit of the behind-the-scenes chaos and antics and things that are happening with Moriarty. If you like what you heard, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share this podcast with your friend. It really helps us share our community with the community. And we can be found on all major streaming platforms. But for more information on shows, tickets, and classes, you can visit us at LTWS.org. Stay tuned for our next episode where we'll take a behind-the-scenes look at the design elements that bring Moriarty to life, from sets and costumes to skillful directing. Until then, I'm Jessica Perry. Thank you for listening, and a special thanks to our media sponsor, Such and Such Media, for helping us to share these stories. Moriarty will run at the Haynes-Brands Theater from September 5th until the 14th. And as always, we'll see you at the theater. The views and opinions of this podcast are those of the contributor and not necessarily those of our distributors and hosting company. This podcast is copyrighted. Use of this podcast without express permission may result in alien blood-sucking plants taking over the world. You have been warned.